with the management, the rector, the principal, the vice principal, our spiritual director, Reverend Ambassador, Reverend Father Ambrose, the AHM, the main school and the primary section, the coordinators, Mr. Y. Alexander, Mrs. Satyapriya, the KG coordinator, Mrs. Deepthi, the PTA General Secretary, Mrs. Nazia Banu, and the Don Bosco Past Pupil Association President, Mr. Sujit Tarakan, to honor the dais. In the absence of Mr. Sujit, Mr. Shadan, Secretary, will take a test. Thank you, sir. Thank you, fathers. Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light for my path. Light dispels darkness of ignorance and lights up our lives to live in harmony with everyone. As I invite the distinguished dignitaries to light the wicks of the Kutuvalakal, let us invoke the Almighty to shower on us His wisdom to make this world a better place. The first wick of the Kutuvalakal will be lit by the guest of the day, Mrs. Uma Maheshwari IAS, Member Secretary, Tamil Nadu Public Service Commission, followed by the Rector and Correspondent of Don Bosco Egmore, Reverend Father Xavier Bhatia. The third wick will be lit by our beloved Principal, Reverend Father Gerald Miranda. The fourth wick will be lit by the Administrator and Vice Principal of our school, Reverend Father Michael Lazar, and the fifth wick by the Assistant Headmaster, Mr. Joseph Maria Antoine. Thank you, dear fathers. Thank you, sir.
He is our leader with vision. He always dreams high and motivates us to reach great heights. We now invite Reverend Father Xavier Bhatia, our rector and correspondent, to deliver the welcome address and to give us his blessings.
Good evening. Good evening. At the outset, I wish to clearly spell out what we are here, and we are here to celebrate this day. Parents' Day, an annual day, we see people coming together to celebrate something great in our lives. And we are here to honor and emulate and imitate a person. The person is our own chief guest, Uma Maheshwari, IAS, and she has been a model for many of us. When I finish reading, you will know how she has achieved many things in our lives. In that way, I am happy that she is the right person to represent the society as a model for youngsters to imitate. The dream come true when you think of a personality, a pathway breaker, and sudden change in her lives. You know, when she was growing up, her beloved father and mother, when they passed away from this world, and she was struck with nowhere to go, but she found the way. And Ms. Uma Maheshwari, being amidst us as our chief guest, befitting for our school Parents' Day celebration. Inspiring life, identical eyes, comprise of optimum harmony of mind and heart. Such a harmonious blend we see in our own life as a true visionary. Uma is a Hindu goddess of power, nourishment, harmony, devotion and motherhood. And Maheshwari hears our prayers and for assistance in risky and threatening, seemingly impossible situations. And when it happens in this, we know that two names are there and twins and two eyes are there and there's a harmony between heart and soul. And this person is having a magic and miracle, able to perform miracles one after the other in our lives. The magic is not without her resolute spirit. And she has completed engineering and MBA. Then she went through with this IAS, getting up early and studying, looking after the child, and grab the afternoon times and spent usefully the hours left. And she did not merely get a goal, but live for the goal. And an icon, a representation of willpower. That's what I'd like to underline this evening. She had the willpower, and she's having that willpower and inspiring thousands of youngsters today. Her outstanding stature standing out for millions and for millions. She stands out as an IAS officer, but is an example, and she moves with the millions of people, helps them. And she was a collector, Pudukottai district collector, Melbourne district where I come from. And I knew Uma Maheshwari 3 years back. Now after coming over here more often because she was in the district. And as a district collector, the turf of government career was tough. Braving the odds for COVID, she was not an issuer, but partner in the agony and anxiety of the people. So she was able to move from file to field to the public and people-centered administrator. Among the bureaucratic office-centered dispensations, Ms. Uma pitched on reaching out to the people, particularly the less privileged. The flagship program that she executed, Makkali Thedi, Mavattan Nirvaham, so people towards the people. And she was also able to give for Tamil Nadu Housing Board facilitate 100 acres of land and people-centered with this Jal Jeevan Mission 2021, centered on water resources, drinking water, and during her journey, during her life there in Pudukottai, she committed so much, she brought this entire district to the fourth and the highest in the state. And marching forward also the next level of water resources, groundwater level. She revitalized to 3.20 meters through successful implementation of desilting works. Her keen caliber intellectual interconnectivity facilitated, and today we have a great program in the district. You know, linking Pudukottai, Sivagangai, and Ramanathapuram with this dam project and this PW department. Demand has been there since the time of British. So many years people have been waiting, and she executed that project. And you know the last government inaugurated, and the thing is on. And also, towards organ donation, one cannot miss the passion to save human life. She masterminded the marathon rally for the artistic awareness for organ donation, which is scripted along the world record, entering into the Asia Book of Records. And the next is about her hand, extending a hand towards self-help groups. A phenomenal achievement of 102%, not just 100%, 102% Tamil Nadu State Rural Livelihood Mission. Next is about jobs. You know that the state is backward in many ways, and she organized mega job fairs. Remained merely titled as media events, no, but got job for 3,109 job seekers. And she is the messiah of the marginalized. Messiah is not an exclusive mantra, but pertaining to only the few. But Ms. Uma proved it that she is an administrative sphere to glimpse into the messiah of the marginalized farmers. They were brought to center stage by including large numbers, Pradhan Mantri Maan Yojana, which promoted the district covering first in the whole state. When Gaja cyclone entered this unfortunate mass is victimized, and she was there to help out those people affected by this. And subdivisional magistrate of Tiruvallur, how she was able to extend her help towards the underprivileged, the bonded laborers. And she even helped them to get rehabilitated. And she scripted her strength by curbing this illicit and mining operations extensively. And project quality control. In Chennai, we experienced metro rail accomplishment. The engine behind this project is implementation is our own Ms. Uma Maheshwari. Let's give a good hand because we are enjoying the benefit of metro trains. Not completed with the finalizing project alignments, but upgrading plans for the project, charged with the implementation mission. She channelized the funds from Japan International Cooperation Agency. Yet again, The fourth for indomitable metal, chipwood, propelled the sanctioning of Tamil Nadu Health System Reforms Program. As a project director of Chief Minister's Comprehensive Insurance Scheme, rupees 1 to 5 lakhs per family per annum for health amenities were expedited. And we can keep on like this, so many programs she executed in her life. And we are very happy to welcome her in the expansion of our heart and our institutional spirit of praising. I'm not here just praising her. I only went through the records and found so many things she has achieved already. So we are very happy to have you here. Welcome. It's not just a chronicle, just not for events, but enduring brilliance. Ever since her school going up to the superior as she is right now, the presence of the present government. We welcome the radiating inspiration of achieving academic goals and integral growth in everyone's project life. Shakespeare said, small cheer, a great welcome makes many feast. May I welcome cheers, may I welcome a cheer renter, Mrs. Uma Mageshwari, indelible, permanent streaks, lines of sweet memories, not without gratitude for her precious presence. So Mrs. Uma Mageshwari, we are happy, and I personally know that you are a role model to many of us. And we want as youngsters to know that you have achieved many, many things in your life. A great achievement. God bless you. May God continue to bless you and bless your family. Welcome to Don Bosco, Egmore.
Thank you, dear Father Rector, for your cordial words of welcome. To be inspired is great, but to be an inspiration is an honor. A leader is a person who knows the way, shows the way, and leads the people. Integrity, insight, and inclusiveness are the essential qualities of a leader. Our guest for the evening duly possesses all of them. We are happy to honor and felicitate our eminent guest, Srimati Uma Maheshwari, IAS, Member Secretary, Tamil Nadu Public Service Commission, who has been a source of inspiration to the young. May I request our Rector and Correspondent, Reverend Father Xavier Pakia, to honor her with a shawl. I invite our beloved Principal Reverend Father Gerald Miranda to present her with a memento and a gift. May I invite our Administrator and Vice Principal, Reverend Father Michael Lazar, to present her with the bouquet. I invite our Spiritual Director, Reverend Father Vallabhara Jero, to present a memento to the guest of the day as a token of our love and appreciation. A big thank you to the outstanding management for felicitating our chief guest. Thank you, fathers.
Felicitation of the Silver Jubilees. It is now time to felicitate our teachers and staff who have rendered more than 25 years of service to our school. We now invite Reverend Father Xavier Pakia, the leader of this institution, to honor the Silver Jubilees. We now call on Mr. Thomas Sundar, the former assistant headmaster and the HOD of the physics department, who has been a very passionate teacher in the mind of physics with a young mind. Mr. Thomas Sundar also involved himself and contributes in a very big way in all the scientific initiatives taken by the management. So I can honor you now with one order. Thank you, sister. Thank you, fathers. We are proud to call on Mr. Jiro Miranda, the HOD of the Social Science Department and the Music Master, who is always ready to share his talents, time and energy for the good of the school and the welfare of the students. Every backdrop set in the auditorium would speak for his creativity. Yes, Mr. Pullaman, the HOD of the Social Science Department. My lecture is Honorable Bernardo. Thank you, dear sir, for all that you are to us. It is time to honor Mr. Ramesh, our support staff, who is always at the call of the principal. Whether it's a rainy day, holiday, or a hot summer day, he is always there at the principal's office to offer his service. மழையோ வெயிலோ விடுமுறையோ வேலை நாட்களோ எல்லா நாட்களிலும் ஆர்வமாய் முதல்வர் அலுவலக பணிகளை புரியும் உங்களுக்கு மனமார்ந்த நன்றிகள். நமது இளைஞர்கள் அவர்கள் திரு ரமேஷ் அவர்களுக்கு பொன்னாடை அறிவித்து சிறப்பிக்கின்றார். தேங்க்யூ ரமேஷ் அண்ணா. Thank you, dear fathers, for doing the honors.
A number of events have taken place in our school over the past 2 years, though we were online. And parents, it's now time for you to witness all the events that have taken place in the form of the annual report. May I now invite the principal, Reverend Father Gerald Miranda, to present the annual report of our school.
Endures forever. The chief guest of the day, Srimati P. Uma Maheshwari, IAS, Member Secretary, Tamil Nadu Public Service Commission, Reverend Father Xavier Pakia, Rector and Correspondent, Reverend Father Michael, Vice Principal and Administrator, Mr. Joseph Mariantuan, AHM of PB Main School, Mr. Y. Alexander and Mr. Satya Priya, Coordinators, Ms. Kurandi Teres, AHM of Primary Section, Mrs. Deepthi, KG Coordinator, Reverend Father Philip, Principal, BBSOE, Reverend Father Vallabharaj and Reverend Father Ambrose, Spiritual Directors, Mrs. Nazia Banu, Secretary, PTA, Mr. Sujit Taragan, President, BPBPA, past pupils, beloved parents, teachers, well-wishers, friends, and my dear students, a pleasant good evening to one and all. It's a well-known fact that over these glorious years, we had always entrusted our works to the Lord and given thanks in all circumstances. John Bosco stands for the integral and holistic development of the students to help in developing overall growth of spirit, mind, and body. The vision statement of the school is achieved in the realization of various curricular and co-curricular activities. 2019 had a splendid opening with all the choices blessing from the Almighty. The year took the globe for a giant turn with the entry of pandemic COVID-19. Every organization, institution, university, firm and enterprise went in for a complete shutdown. People distanced themselves from each other but got glued to electronic gadgets and machines. Patients were on the increase. Graveyards became scary. Situations worsened and the globe became static as we stayed indoors. Sanitization, masks and social distancing became the order of the day. This unseen virus had taken away many of our loved ones. our students, parents and Salesians during its devastating march. But the good Lord, with the maternal protection of Mother Mary and the intercession of Bosco, had kept us safe and secure to the present day. During this time, the management prepared the teachers for techno-based learning and teaching to be effective. The principal and the teachers met the students and parents regularly through virtual meet and encouraged them to do their best in online learning. Virtual events, the first of its kind, the investiture ceremony, Kalvi Valachina, Independence Day, Bible Week, Moral Values Week, Children's Day and Christmas celebration were well organized and celebrated. Now, I feel happy and delighted to present the annual report for the past 2 years. Father Gregory Devarajan was transferred to Domisavio Tirupattur as rector and correspondent, and Reverend Father John Brito became the director of Kalvi Cholai. The community welcomed Reverend Father Xavier Pakia as a new rector and correspondent, and Reverend Father Michael Lazar as the vice principal and administrator, along with Reverend Father Vallabharaj as confessor and Reverend Father Ambrose as spiritual directors. We had 49 teaching staff and 6 administrative staff and 11 support staff to look after 1,594 students from standard 6 to 12 for the year 2019-20, and with an increase of 44 students, making it to 1,638 for the year 2020-21. As we are grateful to Mr. Thomas Edison, Janet, Selvarani, Natasha, and Naresh Kumar for their contribution and service to the students, we heartily welcome Mrs. Nalini, Richard Clark, Evangeline Anthony Raj, Nalin Fatima, Ramesh, Praveen Sarkumar, Alexander Nelson, Malati, Patricia, and Susan to the Bosco family. Mrs. Jovita and Mrs. Delsey from the primary section were upgraded as secondary grade teachers in the main school. Out of 228 students who appeared for the higher secondary examination, our school secured 98% of pass with 169 boys scoring first class. Master Asha Yas was a school topper with 575 out of 600 marks. Master Sanjay S. of 12B was placed second with 573 marks, and Master Lehan D. Jain of 12B stood third with 566 marks. 5 students in computer science and 1 in accountancy secured center. After 240 students who appeared for the first year high secondary examination, our school secured 100% of pass with 178 boys scoring first class. Master Arman Sharif of 11th B was the school topper with 593 out of 600 marks, and Master Sandit John of 11th A was placed second with 566 marks, and Master Joel of 11th C stood third with 558 marks. 2 students in computer science and 1 in commerce secured center. In the 10th board examination, out of 212 students, our school secured 100% pass with 133 boys scoring first class. Out of these, 34 boys secured between 400 to 480 out of 500 marks. The school toppers were Master Roshan Jamal of 10th B with a total of 480 out of 500, and Naveen Kumar AR with a total of 469, and Master Muhammad Jamal Dinyas with 457. We had 1 center in science. Following the directives from the Department of Education and considering the existing pandemic situation, the students of higher secondary second year were awarded marks with their quarterly and half-yearly assessments and their practicals. Out of 240 students who appeared for the second year higher secondary examination, our school secured 100% of pass with 237 boys scoring first class. Master Ahmad Sharif of 12B was the school topper with 594 out of 600 marks, Master Joel J. of 12th grade was placed second with 586 marks, and Master Sanjay John of 12th grade stood third with 582 marks. The board exam for students of 10th and 11th stood cancelled and was announced all passed by the Education Department. My sincere appreciation and sincere word of thanks to the staff for the untiring efforts, to the parents for their constant support, and to my dear boys for the cooperation to reach this impeccable success. Thank you all.
A two-day NLP training program on the topic Master Yourselves was conducted in the month of May 2019 for the teachers. The resource person was Mr. Arun Subramanian. The school aimed at the inner development of body, mind and soul of staff and students. First Friday Mass, Sacrament of Reconciliation for their own spiritual renewal was enhanced. Bible Week for Christians and Value Week for non-Christians were held for students of class 6 to 9. Recitation, quiz, character portrayal, chart display and singing were conducted for the Catholic boys. Short film, collage, fancy dress, singing and speech competition were conducted for the moral science students. This was to enable the boys to grow closer to God with this existing pandemic situation. The management organized a 15-day demo classes for teachers to enable their effective teaching through online with the assistance of Mrs. Parkavi and Mr. Nirojan. Online classes commenced for the students of classes 6 to 12 the second week of June 2020.
Okay, now this moment is hardly being made use of previous moment. In the previous syllabus we were having an exhaustively.
Great leaders don't set out to be a leader, they set out to make a difference. A true spirit of discipline is also acquired during student formation. The leadership skills are fostered through various activities of the house system in our school. The inauguration of the house system was held in the DB auditorium on 15th June 2019. The chief guest of the day was Reverend Father Edwin George SDB, Rector and Correspondent, St. Gabriel's Anglo-Indian Higher Secondary School. The ASPL Master Gavin Riju and ASPL Master Tarun Mario, along with the captains, vice captains, secretaries and troop leaders assumed office and took the oath to be true leaders and be consistent in all the work entrusted to them. The investiture and house inauguration for 2020-2021 was held in the Rosario Auditorium on 17 July 2020. The guest of the day, Reverend Father Justin Prabhu, Professor, Department of Visual Communication, Loyola College, briefed the students on the importance of leadership skills. The SPL Master Arman Sharif, the ASPL captains and secretaries were honored with the badges as they assumed office. The Tamil Nadu Fire Service Department conducted a mock drill for the students on the safety measures during fire accidents on 11th June 2019 in the presence of the chief guest, Mr. Kumar, District Officer, Chennai Central District. As per the directives from the Department of Education, the students went on a 7-kilometer rally on Say No to Drugs on 26 June 2019 to create awareness among the public on the ill effects of consuming drugs. Yoga is a journey of the self, through the self every week to make them understand how important health is to one and all. International Yoga Day was celebrated on 21st June 2019. Mr. Xavier Pradeep, PET Department, highlighted the importance of yoga to the students. Parents' animation was conducted on 27th June 2019 with the tree saplings. For the year 2020-2021, Movie Vakshinal was celebrated through online on 15th July 2020. The guest of the day, Mr. Adil Jeva, lecturer, Najal Catholic College of Arts and Science, Khaliya Kabale, gave an inspiring speech and motivated the students to love and embrace the Tamil language and its culture. Discipline, dedication, and devotion are the dimensional keys to success. The sports field is also a part of these keys. Sports and games play a vital role in the physical development of students. The annual athletic meet of BB Egmore was held on 19th July 2019 at SDAT Nehru Park. The guest of the day, Mr. Abraham Rajan, Coach SDAT. The guest of honor, Dr. Marie Anthony, Principal, Secular College, Tirupattur, awarded the winners with certificates and trophies. The contestants gave their best with the feel of the sportsman, cheering and applauding the winners. The Savio House emerged as overall champions for 2019-2020. One often finds people close their mouth and open their minds in the library because there is no friend as loyal as a book. To improve the knowledge of the boys, the new library was blessed and opened on 24th July 2019 by the rector and correspondent, Reverend Father Gregory Devarajan. Mr. John Bernard officially took charge of the library. Every moment is a fresh new beginning. The wonderful inauguration of the various clubs in the school evolved leaders to journey with confidence and determination to prove to be the best. The clubs initiated for the welfare and benefit of the students played a vital role in the growth of the youngsters. Seminars, workshops, and varied activities were held throughout the year to keep them abreast of their role in life. The guest of the day, Reverend Father Vincent, Principal, Dominic Savio Matriculation High Secondary School, Santham, graced the day, pinned badges for the student secretaries, and appreciated the students for the involvement in various clubs. Various clubs portrayed their skills and achievements on stage. The members of the Eco Warrior Club donated free saplings. The Tamil department of the school had its Literary Association inauguration on 7th August 2020. The guest of the day was Mr. Joseph Valentinus Moses, Tamil teacher, Don Bosco School, Perambur, motivated the boys to love the Tamil language and the importance of learning this language. Holy Eucharistic celebration was held in the auditorium for all the Catholic boys and staff to celebrate the feast of St. Dominic Savio. Reverend Father Sitchas SDB was the main celebrant. Independence Day was celebrated in the school campus. A display of patriotic leaders with their biography marked the day. Holy Eucharistic celebration was held in the auditorium for the Catholic staff and students in view of the Feast of Assumption. Apart from academics, the school nurtures to provide a holistic development to the students. Annual inter-house cultural competitions such as quiz, musical, block and tackle, rapid fire, shipwreck, dumb charades, word for word, channel surfing, jam, ADSAP, dramatics, dance, adapt tune, band and spotlight were conducted on 21st and 22nd August 2019. Mr. Dushan Ramkumar, producer, Tamil Film Industry, was the chief guest for the inauguration. Mr. Selvam Adagappan was the chief guest of honor. Various off-stage competitions were held for the students. After a friendly round of competitions, Brewer House emerged as overall champions. Trophies and certificates were awarded by Mr. Ajay Ratnam, actor and founder, Stone to Diamond, during the valedictory function. I take this time to thank Mr. Jerome Dominic and his team who worked tirelessly to help the students feel at ease to use the stage. Teachers' Day was celebrated on 5th September 2019. The students welcomed the teachers in a remarkable manner and staged breathtaking performances and kept the ambience of the auditorium filled with laughter. The PTA members hosted a sumptuous lunch for the teachers to show their love and gratitude. The Regional Superior of South Asia, Reverend Father Maria Arikim Kanaga, made his annual visit to Don Bosco Egmore on 14 September 2019. He addressed the students and the staff during a special assembly. He was honored and felicitated by the management. The Provincial of Chennai Province, Reverend Father K. M. Jose, made his annual visit to the school on 16th November 2020. He met the teachers, support staff, and the administrative staff through Zoom meet. He also had a brief interaction with the parents and spoke to them on the existing pandemic and how to stay safe, and thank God for protecting and keeping us safe through this time of trial. Picnics and outings are source and means of relaxation to the body and mind after a hectic schedule. To rejuvenate and encourage innovative teaching scenario, the teaching faculty left on a 3-day trip to Wayanad from 4th October to 7th October 2019. The soccer and basketball match was conducted from October 9th to October 11th, 2019 in memorial of Reverend Father J.P. Malan, Father Stephen Bernard in the school premises. Mr. Joseph Magna Fernando, Government Secretary, Tamil Nadu Olympic Association, was a guest of the day. In the finals, DB Egmore emerged winners in the basketball tournament. St. Michael's emerged winners in soccer match. The English department of the school inaugurated the English Literary Association on 23rd October 2019 in the DB auditorium. The guest of the day, Mr. Sebastian Pensier, Vice Principal and Lecturer, Department of English, Loyola College, presided over the function and highlighted the importance of the language. Parents' Day was celebrated on 25th October 2019. The judge of the Madras High Court, Honorable Justice Thiru A.D. Jagdish Chandra, was the guest of the day. Students portrayed their multifarious talents to make their parents feel happy and proud. Awards for academic excellence in the board exams and for various sports were presented to the winners. An inter-school cultural extravaganza, Revelation, was hosted on 30th and 31st October 2019. The inaugural ceremony was grandeur with Mr. Sinu Ramasamy, Cine Director, as a guest of honor. 12 schools from the city participated in the 2-day cultural fest. Various cine celebrities, Mr. Vel Murugan, playback singer, Mr. Ramachandran, actor, and Mr. Sharik Hassan, actor, graced the show. Students exhibited their talents as the platform was left open to unfold their potentials. After a tough battle, Holy Angels emerged champions of Revelation 2019. The trophy was awarded by Big Boss fame, Mr. Harish Kalyan. The third National Unity Day was celebrated at Don Bosco Egmore on 31st October 2019. Motivational talk on mass cleaning was delivered by the students, and they went on a rally around the school campus to highlight the other fellow students on the importance of staying united and keeping the environment clean. The Scouts of Don Bosco Egmore is a vital movement where the members actively take part in various programs and other activities conducted on every Saturday. Drawing competition was conducted for the students of the Scouts wing in view of Thinkers Day. Prizes and certificates were awarded to the winners. The RSP unit, in collaboration with our alumni, Mr. Mohammed Shadan, organized Super Kid Pop contest for classes 6 to 8, which encouraged the boys to help their parents to be aware on the importance of wearing helmet and seat belt while driving. Adhering to the motto of JRC, health, service and friendship, the members of the JRC unit of our school are very active and service-oriented, extending their friendly helping hand wherever needed. The students participated in the centenary celebration of JRC held at Kalivanad Arangam, which was presided by the Governor of Tamil Nadu, His Excellency Shri Banwarilal Purohit. World Food Day, Zero Hunger Day was celebrated on 16th October 2019 in collaboration with Rotary Club of Chennai. Boys contributed a meal generously to feed the less privileged. The volunteers from Goodness Foundation collected 600 food packets from the boys and distributed it to the hungry and the needy in and around Egmore.
The principal, along with the two teaching staff, attended the national seminar titled Students at Risk at Bangalore. The topic covered the identification, prevention, and intervention of students being at risk. The staff had their annual retreat on 17 February 2021. The main animator was Reverend Father Jayant, Director, Nerevagam. It was an interactive session to get closer to God. The day concluded with a Holy Eucharistic celebration. An educational tour is a part of the school curriculum. To refresh the minds of the students and given an extra mind of learning and exploring the world, the school arranged for a day's outing for students of class 6 to 8 and a 3 days tour for students of class 9 to 12. The students of class 6 and 8 went to Egmore village for Gromathil Ornad. The standard 7 boys went to Satyam Grand Carnival. The students of standard 9 and 10 went on a 3 days tour to Hyderabad, while the boys from the higher secondary went to Munnar to explore the hills and the scenic beauty. As per the directives from the department, the parents of class 9 to 12 were called for a meeting to give their opinions on sending their wards to school. Mrs. Bharati, Educational Department, Samagra Shiksha, Zone 7, was present for the session. The feast of Nativity is joyful and welcome as many good-natured hearts reach out to bring a smile of radiance on every beautiful face. Christmas and Charity Day was celebrated on 7th December 2019 in the TV auditorium. The benevolence of the season was brought out through carol singing and message by principal. Students enjoyed the day, embracing the importance of loving and sharing with a generous heart. An amount of rupees 2.54 lakhs was generously contributed by the boys and the parents, making the day memorable, as we could reach out and bring smiles on more than 50 underprivileged families from the neighborhood. They were given gift hampers which had provision and clothing. 100 children affected with HIV were gifted with dress materials. 350 children of migrant laborers were also given gift hampers and dress materials. The management and the teachers graced the occasion. The DB-MRF Cricket Festival, an annual event in the school, was held on 10th January 2020 under floodlights. After a round of league matches, Don Bosco Egmore and St. Bede's Anglican High Secondary School, Santon, entered the finals. After a friendly comeback, St. Bede's Anglican High Secondary School emerged as champions to lift the DB-MRF Cricket Championship trophy. The title sponsors were MRF, Union Bank of India and Bank of India Egmore. Mr. J. Srinivasaraj, Vice President, TNCA, and Mr. L. Balaji, former Indian cricket player, were the guests for the day and they awarded the players with certificates and trophies. Begin this year with love and smile. Forget all your worries and be cheerful, for the harvest is plentiful. Along with the gleaming faces of the farmers all over the country, the 3-day harvest festival, Pongal, was celebrated. The extravaganza was not less at DB Egmore, as the day's importance was thrown wide to the students through speech, skit, and dance. The teachers prepared sweet Pongal and distributed it to the boys. A short program by the Nakiras Sangam was staged in the auditorium in collaboration with the Tamil department of the school. 15 dignitaries from various fields donned the stage with their august presence. the parents came together to prepare a beautiful rangoli on the theme Vision 2020 to enter Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Guinness Records. Lions Club conducted a two-day workshop for teachers in collaboration with Lions Club International titled Skills for Adolescents. The teachers handling the age group of boys from 9 to 14 years participated in the two-day workshop and received certificates of completion. The feast of our patron saint and founder, Saint John Bosco, was commemorated on 31st January 2020 in the Don Bosco Auditorium. The Catholic boys, staff and parents were a part of the celebration. Reverend Father K. Jones, Provincial, Chennai Province, was the main celebrant. Students of class 12 were given a warm farewell as they got themselves set to leave the school portals after 14 long years of schooling. The students and the teachers exchanged responses filled with nostalgic memories. Science Expo was held for the students of class 6 to 9 on 28 February 2020. In the school, students exhibited various spectacular scientific models, bringing out their creativity and innovative thinking. Mrs. Dekla Mary, former science teacher, was the guest of the day. The PPE, along with the school management, conducted vaccination camp for the people, enabling them to get their vaccination. Having received directions from the provincial, Reverend Father K. Jones and the House Council, DB Egmore, in collaboration with Greater Chennai Corporation and DB Past Pupils Association, started a 100-bed COVID care center in the school premises. The doctors, nurses and the paramedical team with few volunteers took care of the patients who got admitted for COVID and were treated for the same. More than 174 patients got cured. The past peoples were a great support in making this noble cause a memorable one.
Indigo Excellence Award was awarded to Bosco Recreation High Secondary School, Egmore, on 14 February 2020 at Taj Kunimara for excellence in career building and talent enhancement. On behalf of our principal, Reverend Father John Frito, Vice Principal of the AHM, Mr. Thomas Suresh, received the certificate and award. Mrs. Rosaline Swanalada, faculty from the Department of Science, retired from a 20 years long service on 21st April 2021. The management, staff and students gave her warm adieu, wishing her a peaceful, joyful and happy retired life. In the history of DB Egmore, Naval Wing NCC was inaugurated on the 29th January 2021. The guest of the day was GB Captain T. Arunachalam, Group Commander, NCC GB Headquarters, Madras. He enlightened the boys on the importance of NCC to instill discipline. The management took the initiative to start the NCC Naval Wing JD unit. GB Egmore marked its history in launching its official YouTube channel titled Don Bosco Egmore Official. The team comprising of Mr. Ravi Raymond, Mr. Andrew, Mr. Gino Miranda, and Mr. Thomas Albert initiated their work for the launch. The official inauguration was held on 16 February 2021 and was inaugurated by the Rector and Correspondent, Reverend Father Xavier Pakia. The YouTube team gathered impetus when students who had predilection towards animation and computer software were brought into the team. Career series for the benefit of students was an eye-opener for all parents. Motivation series through Monday Motivation has created ecstasy, enthusiasm, and a renewed spirit for all levels of society. videos from Tamil and English Literary Association, and do-it-yourself origami has become a welcome addition and added a feather to the cap. Last but not the least, the Salesian family of Don Bosco, Egmore, deeply mourns the sudden demise of our beloved student, Master Adrian Dio of Class 6, who left this world on 11th March 2021 after a prolonged illness. We express our deepest condolences to the family members and pray that the good Lord grant you eternal reward. The journey is never ending. There is always a space for growth and improvement. You just got to face it and do what is right. Continue to grow and continue to live the moment. As I conclude, I would like to thank the Chief Guest for accepting our invitation and the school management, Reverend Father Rector, Reverend Father Administrator, AHM, parents, teachers, administrative staff, support staff, students, past pupils and benefactors for their wholehearted cooperation and dedication shown towards our prestigious school. Finally, I thank Jesus Christ, who is the head of our school, the unseen teacher in every classroom and playground, the silent listener to every conversation. Looking forward to another year of excellence, growth and blessing. God bless our school. Long live Don Bosco. For the General Miranda, Principal, GB Egmore.
We are glad to know that so many events have taken place, even during the difficult times we had. Thank you, dear Father Principal, the Vice Principal, and the Assistant Headmaster for giving us the clear picture of all the events that have taken place during the past academic years through the visual annual report. We thank everyone who has been instrumental in preparing the video presentation of the annual report. We now invite our chief guest, Tirumati P. Uma Maheshwari, IAS, the Member Secretary of Tamil Nadu Public Service Commission, to deliver the presidential address.
Good evening, Reverend Fathers, beloved Don Bosco team, lovely parents, and my dear children. I initially thank the Rector and Correspondent, our Reverend Father, Dr. Xavier Bhatia, and our Principal, Reverend Father Gerard Miranda, for having invited me to be a part of this Parents' Day celebration. I am indeed privileged to have been associated with you, our Salesian fathers, during the past years, and have been actively following your incredible work, which is always a constant source of inspiration and motivation to me as a bureaucrat. I'd also like to use this opportunity to place on record my sincere appreciation of all the good work undertaken by you, not only in the field of education, but in many other social causes as well. I've also experienced, dear fathers, firsthand the effort you have taken to mold our children into productive and responsible citizens with an emphasis on all-round development rather than academic excellence alone. My son has also been a beneficiary of the school's practice of nurturing each individual child, identifying their latent talent and also providing opportunities for the talent to be showcased. I am proud to say to each of you that these Salesian fathers have been leading by setting examples. They are actually role models for their students and also their parents to emulate. No wonder the school has a long list of noted alumni.
Of course, we have been watching all their good work. Last 2 years presentation as annual report, it was almost like watching a movie show. It was very interesting. And dear fathers, please keep up the good work. I also have been noticing that especially during this COVID pandemic and during all the natural calamities, the school, the children and the past pupils, alumni, PTA, all of them have been getting themselves into the field and helping the needy. The alumni are not far behind in doing all the good deeds. I've heard about the Min Cerebral initiative by which laptops have been provided to the needy children. It's just one such example to point out today. Hats off to all of you. At this juncture, I would like to thank the TV family for all the efforts taken in organizing this Parents' Day event, especially adhering to all the SOPs of the government. Now let me focus on the reason why we are all gathered here. It's Parents' Day celebration, a day in which we recognize the role of parents in a child's life. Wish you all a very happy parenting. I happened to recently read our rector father's message on the school's website. I'd like to quote it. The school alone cannot address all of a child's academic and developmental needs. A strong partnership between the school and the family is essential for a successful education. This actually makes one think, are we doing enough? Are we doing really enough for our children? I just want to share 3 simple takeaways in this event. The first and foremost takeaway is communication. I strongly believe that the foundation of any relationship is communication. And communication was actually my forte, I thought so, a couple of years back. I actually have a teenager back at home. He is one of your past pupils. I once heard him talking over the phone that he was weak. So as any mother, I rushed to prepare something which would satiate his hunger pangs. But then later on I heard that weak actually in teenage slang means that they are having or found something funny. So this teenage slang per se is a way of the kids to communicate. It's actually funny and also interesting. In fact, at times, it is almost like a second nature. The parents don't even notice that what is slang and what is normal that the kids actually talk. So if your child tells someone as a quote, there is no need to be offended. Actually, I learned that GOAT, goat means greatest of all time. And when they call someone savage, it doesn't mean that the person is rude or brutal. Savage only means that he is a cool kind of a person, I suppose. And once they are woke, it doesn't literally mean that they are woken or something like that. It only goes to show that they are actually aware of a lot of social issues. So these expressions of the teens are usually innocent and sometimes even hilarious, but they need not be necessarily wrong. But sometimes parents can actually get some warning expressions. For example, in case they mention ship, it doesn't actually mean literally a ship. It can also mean that they are into a relationship. So what I would like to say is that there are a lot of terms, but we need to understand, we need to make an effort. We should try to maintain a consistent communication with our children. Although we need not instantly understand all that the child wants to tell us, but we can take some time to show our desire to understand and communicate. Jokes apart, dear parents, I'd like to tell you that our children are evolving fast and we need to be a little more faster. So a few tips I just jotted down on my way to the program. There is something called Urban Dictionary. Actually, this Urban Dictionary is different from our normal dictionary. It's available in the social media also. So this gives you all the slang terms that your teens back at home will be using commonly. I know you can also set some Google alerts, and Google alerts can be set as per your convenience. You can have a duration, and of course you can have your choice of ideas and programs you want to watch in these Google alerts. It can even be social media. Of course, all parents know that we can block the day to the site, and the duration of internet usage by the children can be controlled, but believe me, it didn't work for me. So I stuck to my first takeaway for the day, communication. I'm still making an effort. Every day I make an effort. maintain an open line of communication and please encourage them to talk about even questionable material that they are exposed to in social media. So please communicate with your child. And my second takeaway for the day is a small story which I like to share with you. Many of you would have heard about this story. There was a father and a son. The father had asked his son, "Are you a brave lad or are you a coward?" Obviously, any boy would say, "Of course, I'm a brave lad." And then the father said, "In that case, are you willing to take up a challenge?" The boy did agree. Then the father said, "I'll be taking you to a forest. I'll leave you there overnight with your eyes blindfolded, and I'll come in the early morning to pick you up." The boy was initially hesitant, but did agree. Because he had trusted his father, so the father took the boy to the forest, blindfolded the child, and then slowly the boy heard the father's footsteps leaving him. All of a sudden, he started hearing a lot of eerie sounds. It was quite scary, and then it was biting cold also. So initially out of fear, the boy started crying. He started calling for his father, but there was no response. So after a while, he gathered his courage and he spent the entire night in the forest. And the morning, there was the sun's rays, he could feel the warmth, and slowly he removed his blindfold. And to his surprise, next to him, he saw his father standing. So he was out of joy, he cried, hugged his father and said, "When did you come back, Dad?" The father said, "I didn't leave you at all. I was all over the night, I was there with you." So the boy said, "Then you heard me crying, I called out for you, why didn't you answer?" The father said, "You had to overcome your fears. So though I was there present, I didn't reveal to you that I was present." The boy did realize that what the father had done for him was for his own good. Dear parents, my second takeaway for the day is please expose your child. Let the child experience the outside world. Don't overdo your parenting job. That is my second takeaway for the day. And dear parents, I know it's very difficult to be a parent, but my last message or the last takeaway for the day is the current children, the current generation of kids, believe me, don't need parenting. What they actually need is a trustworthy friend, a true friend, and this friend, they don't want them trailing from behind, they don't want them to be shadowed. Neither they want the parent to be leading in the front, showing the path, but they just need a friend beside them, but of course at arm's length. So dear parents, try to be a friend, try to be the trustworthy friend for your child. Before I end my speech, dear parents, I'd like to also quote our Reverend Father Principal, a message which he has given for this academic year. Education is of the heart and not of the mind. Education is the basis to learn and unlearn what is effective and fruitful for life. In a casual or informal way, let me just say, education is what we remember after schooling. Actually, if you remember your grammar, if you remember your alphabets, if you remember your tables, that is real education. I don't remember my theorems I learned. Of course, I might not remember all the algebra I learned in my schooling. It doesn't really matter. So education is something which makes you a responsible citizen. And dear fathers, you have really been giving a lot of responsible citizens for our society. So dear parents, let us as parents strive to find a place in the hearts of our children and guide their mind towards goodness. Thank you all. Please stay safe. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for being such an inspiration to all of us and for delivering the presidential address with a very strong message to our parents and for all of us. We thank you sincerely for all your words of appreciation, ma'am. Don Bosco Egmore always takes pride in honoring the achievers, which will be an inspiration for the other students to follow. We shall now have the praise distribution. We now invite the chief guest, Srimati Egmore Maheshwari, IAS, to distribute the prizes to the achievers.
Master Alvin Mahiban Benedict of 6B receives the Past Pupils Association Award for the best student in academics in Standard 6. Chris Danny C of 7B receives the Past Pupils Association Award for the best student in academics in Standard 7. Of 8A receives the Past Pupils Association Award for the best student in academics in Standard 8. Desmond Pio of 9B receives the Past Pupils Association Award for the best student in academics in Standard 9. Leander Moraes of 9A receives the Crystal Award for Catechism Aggregate Marks Standard 9. Bevan Benjamin A of 6D receives Mr. Zuigan's Award for Catechism Aggregate Marks for classes 6 to 8. Sanjit John of 11A receives the Academic Proficiency Award for the first place in 2019-20 batch and also the Best Student of the Year 2019-20. Samuel J. of 11A receives the Academic Proficiency Award for second place in 2019-20 batch and also he has secured 644 out of 720 in the NEET 2021 and he has secured admission in Stanley Medical College. Ahmed Asim of Ahmed of 11A has secured the third place in academic proficiency. Alvin Roy of 11B has secured the first place in academic proficiency 2019-20 and also the best student of the year. Melvin Joshua David of 11B has secured the third place in academic proficiency in 2019-20 batch. Joel J. of 11C has secured the first place in academic proficiency in 2019-20 and also he has secured 99.57 percentile score in JEE Mains 2021 and JEE Advanced Joint Entrance Exam. He has joined IIT Madras to pursue his bachelor's degree in aerospace engineering. John Dominic Joseph 11C has secured the second place in academic proficiency 2019-20 batch. Arman Sharif of 11E has secured the first place in academic proficiency 2019-20 and also the Past Pupils Association Award for the best student in Standard 11. On behalf of Arman Sharif, I request Master Ajit Secretary to receive the award. Vedansh Bhavesh Shah of 11D received the second place in academic proficiency in 2019-20 batch. Sriram H of 11D receives the third place in academic proficiency in 2019-20 and also the best student of the year 2019-20. Monish A of 11E receives the first place in academic proficiency 2019-20. Shriyan Ariji of Lebanese receives the second place in academic proficiency 2019-20 and also the best student of the year for the academic year. Shobin Kumar of 12B received the best student of the year for the year 2019-20. Varun Joshua of 11E receives the third place in academic proficiency 2019-20. Mohammad Jamaldeen of 10B receives first place in English and SSLC board exam 2020. Amish P of 10B has secured the first place in math in SSLC board exam March 2020. Kevin Clinton of 12D secured the first place in French in Standard 12 board exam and also received the Past Pupils Association Award for Topper in French in Standard 12 board exam. Mohammad Fawaz of 12D secured the first place in French in Standard 12 board exam and also received the Past Pupils Association Award for Topper in French in Standard 12 board exams March 2020. Ayush Mehta of 12E receives the Past Pupils Association Award for Topper in German in Standard 12 board exam and secured the first place in German board exams March 2020. Aaron A. Aaron A has secured the first place in German in Standard 12 board exam and also the Past Pupils Association Award for Topper in German Standard 12 board exam, and on behalf of Aaron, Jaren is requested to receive the award. Hariharan of 12E secured the first place in German in Standard 12 board exam and also received the Past Pupils Association Award for Topper in German in Standard 12 board exams. Kenneth Dave Matthew of 12B secured the first place in German in Standard 12 board exams and also receives the Past Pupils Association Award for Topper in German in Standard 12 board exams March 2020. Syed Yasser Ahmed of 12B secured the first place in German in Standard 12 board exams and also receives the Past Pupils Association Award for Topper in German in Standard 12 board exams. Hussein of 12B secured the first place in German in Standard 12 board exams and also received the Past Pupils Association Award for Topper in German in Standard 12 board exams. Ransom Ronnie Voice of 12E secured the first place in German in Standard 12 board exams and also receives the Past Pupils Association Award for Topper in German in Standard 12 board exams. Siddharth Vijay Dalal of 12B secured the first place in German in Standard 12 board exams and also received the Past Pupils Association Award for Topper in German in Standard 12 board exams. Sandeep S of 12D secured the first place in German in Standard 12 board exams and also received the Past Pupils Association Award for Topper in German in Standard 12 board exams March 2020. Rahul D of 12A secured the first place in German in Standard 12 board exams and also receives the Past Pupils Association Award for Topper in German in Standard 12 board exams. Over to Mr. Raymond.
Alim of 12E receives the first in German for 12 board exam 2020 and Past People's Association Award for topper in German. Sadai Abhinesh of 12B receives first in German in 12 board exam and Past People's Association Award for topper in German. Venkat Ramana of 12B receives first in German award and Past People's Association Award for topper in German in 12 board exam. Mirai Edin of 12A receives award for first in German in 12 and Past People's Association Award for topper in German. Karan Hamish Sampath of 12D receives Mr. Nanecha Srinivasan and Mrs. Yoga Srinivasan Scholarship Award for Commerce and Higher Secondary Board Exam instituted by Past People Venkat Ramanan and certificate for first in Commerce. Dave of 12D, first in Economics and Business Maths in 12th exam and Mr. Nadesan Srinivasan and Mrs. Yoga Srinivasan Scholarship Award for Economics and Business Maths. Akash of 12B receives Dr. Pratap Reddy Award for Outstanding Cadet in NSS for the year 2019-2020. Constant Ashmi of 9A receives the award of Rs 5,000 from the Past Peoples of 1983 batch, and I request Mr. Rose Kumar to join the dignitaries. In memory of Mr. Gerard Fulbert, Mr. Abulavanan and Mr. Naren Gopinath. Aces Aaron of 11C receives an award of Rs 5,000 from Past Peoples of 1985 batch. In memory of Mr. Gerard Fulbert, Mr. Abulavanan and Mr. Naren Gopinath. Sidesh of 10A receives award of Rs 5,000 from the Past Peoples of 1985 batch. In memory of Mr. Gerard Fulbert, Mr. Abulavanan and Mr. Naren Gopinath. May I request Mr. Ramesh Dugar and Mr. Prani from 1988 batch to join the dignitaries on stage.
Good evening. We are from the batch of 1988. Every year we choose 5 students and award them each a scholarship of 20,000 rupees based on their academic excellence. This is done in perpetuity and we encourage students and the parents as an indication to give back to the society. We, the class of 1988, sincerely hope scholarship excellence will motivate students of our school to excel and bring greater joy in the school. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Vignesh Kumaran of 10D receives a special award of Rs 20,000 by the Past Peoples of 1988 batch for the most deserving students from 10th standard. Madhav Perumal of 10D receives a special award of Rs 20,000 by the Past Peoples of 1988 batch. Mario Mitchell of 10B receives a special award of Rs 20,000 by the Past Peoples of 1988 batch. Praveen S of 10B receives a special award of Rs 20,000 by the Past Peoples of 1988 batch. We thank all the past tables representing 1988 batch. We thank you for your brilliant presence. Thank you, sir. Naveen Kumar of 10B receives the award for first in science in SSLC board exam. Cash award of securing center in science in SSLC. Gumidi Shri Rumulu Chetty Memorial Gold Medal for second in SSLC and A. Shankar Silver Medal for first in science in SSLC board exam. Arjun Kushant of 12C receives the best student of the year for the academic year 2019-20. Certificate for first in maths in standard 12 board exam. Gumidi S. Balaji Gold Medal to the student who secured highest marks in maths in the higher secondary exam. Nitin Seshadri Praveen Seshadri Award to the student who secured highest mark in maths in board exam March 2020. Sanjay S. of 12E receives the best student of the year 2019-2020. First in commerce and computer applications in higher secondary board exam. Mr. Naden Srinivasan Yogapal Srinivasan Scholarship Award. Joel Thomas Joe of 12B received first in computer science in higher secondary board exam. Cash award of securing center in computer science. Nitin Seshadri Praveen Seshadri Award for scoring highest mark in computer science. The Princeton receives the certificate for first in computer science, the center in computer science, and highest mark in computer science in 2020 exams. And I call upon Princeton to receive for Nitish of 12B. Okay, Rohit received the first in German and accountancy, securing center in computer science, topper in German, and scoring Edison Srinivasan and Yogapal Srinivasan Scholarship Award. I request Princeton to come on stage to receive on behalf of Nitish, who scored first in computer science, securing center in computer science, and receives Nitin Seshadri and Praveen Seshadri Award for scoring highest mark in computer science in board exams. Flavin Dion of 12B receives the first in German in computer science, securing center in computer science. Lion is Parameshwaran Merit Scholarship for Best Student in Computer Science, and Nitin Seshadri Praveen Seshadri Award for scoring highest mark in computer science. Danush of 12B, first in Tamil and computer science, securing center in computer science. Topper in Tamil in 12th standard, Nitin Seshadri Praveen Seshadri Award for highest mark in computer science, Mr. Nadesan Srinivasan Mrs. Yogapal Srinivasan Scholarship, instituted by Bosco Pullian Venkatakrishnan. Danush Aditya of 12A, Best Student of the Year, first in physics and chemistry, Grandmaster Vishwanathan Scholarship for most deserving student, Chandrasekhar Memorial Prize for the Best Student in Physics, Nitin Seshadri Praveen Seshadri Award for securing highest mark in physics and chemistry. Bhuvanesh of 12C, Bosco Award to the Best Cricketer for the academic year 2019-20. Bhuvanesh K receives the Bosco Award to the Best Cricketer for the academic year. Dansmith of 12B receives Mr. Strong Galada Rolling Trophy for overall performance in sports shooting for the academic year 2019-20.
Mridul of 7B receives Mr. Strong Karana Rolling Trophy for overall performance in sports, swimming, for the academic year 2019-2020. Roshan Jamal of 10B. First in subjects Tamil, English, Maths and Social Science in SSLC for the Jati Gold Medal for first in SSLC board exam. Dr. P.K. Krishnan Silver Medal for the first in English SSLC. Umidi Chandraya Chetty Memorial Gold Medal for first in Tamil. Bosco People's Association Award to the best student in academics. Mr. Strong Kerala Rolling Trophy for overall performance in academics in Standard 10. Umidi S. Rajesh Gold Medal to the student securing highest mark in the social science in SSLC, and a special award by the Bosco People's Association for the student securing highest total SSLC board exam. Roshan Jamal. Arshid of 12B. Best student of the year, first in French and English in 12th board exam, Mrs. Geeta Parameshwaran Caste Prize for the first in higher secondary, Past People's Association Award to the best students in academics, Past People's Association Award for topper in French, FBP Prakamira Manal Award for the first rank in 12th standard, Mr. Strong Kerala Rolling Trophy for overall performance in academics, Umidi Sudhakar Gold Medal for securing highest mark in English, Mr. Nadeshan Srinivasan, Mrs. Yogapal Srinivasan Scholarship instituted by past people, and Venkata Krishnan, Sunil Shankar Award for the best outgoing student, Master A. Maria Jnanam Cash Award for securing highest mark in English, Special Award by the Past People's Association for securing highest total in higher secondary, Award of ₹1,000 in memory of M.S. Jodi, instituted by Jodi to the topper in French and higher secondary exam, and finally Vivek Jaggi Memorial Trophy for excellence in academics for the year 2019 and 20. Round of applause. Bhubanesh of 12C receives the Bosco Award to the best cricketer for the academic year 1920. Bhubanesh. Shyam Khariji of 11E for Academic Proficiency Award for the second place in 1920. Certificates and medals for the winners. And
we thank the chief guests for having distributed the prizes to the achievers and for encouraging them. We thank the entire prize distribution team and the announcers for looking into all the details and for organizing it so well. It is now time for the variety entertainment, the much awaited part of the day. Shall we begin with the culturals? Yes, boys, the parents, the audience. We shall begin our cultural program with the Tamil skit. நீதி கேட்டு ஒரு பெண் தன் குரலை எழுப்பினாள். அநீதியின் மீது தன் கோபத்தீயை கொட்டினாள். அவளின் கோபத்தால் அழுக்குறனால் அபயக்குறனால் ஒரு நகரத்தையே எரிக்கவும் முடியும், நமது மனங்களை ஒடுக்கவும் முடியும். இதோ அந்த சரித்திர சிலப்பதிகார நிகழ்வை நம் கண் முன்பாக காவியமாக படைக்க வருகின்றனர் எம் மாணவர்கள்.
நான் குற்றவாளி. நீ குற்றவாளி. போனதால் தொங்கிய அத்தாணி தலைவர் உங்களையும் தொங்க வைப்பேன். உங்கள் நீதி போனதால், நேர்மை போனதால், மானம் போனதால், மதுரை பாண்டியா உன் மனைவின் பழையத்தில் உள்ள பழங்கள் முத்துக்களா மாணிக்கங்களா? முத்துக்கள், முத்துக்கள். என் சிலம்பிலே உள்ளவை மாணிக்க மரங்கள். அப்படியா? இங்கே பார்க்கலாம். பேபி இப்போது முத்துக்களை மாணிக்கங்கள், மாணிக்கங்கள் அல்ல, இரத்தத்துளிகள். தர்மத்தின் கண்கள் வடிக்கின்ற இரத்த துளிகள். மதுரை பாண்டியா, உனக்கு இன்னும் சந்தேகமா? இதோ என்னுடைய மக்களிடம் மாணிக்கங்கள். அமைச்சர்களே, அரும்பெரும் சான்றார்களே, இதற்கு என்ன பதில்? தலை தொங்கி விட்டதா? நீதி கவிழ்ந்து விட்டதா? நீதி வருவான் நெடுஞ்செழிய பாண்டியனே, அறம் மரம் திறம் அனைத்தும் மண்ணோடு மண்ணாக கலந்து விட்டதா? ஐயையோ, ஏன் இந்த மாற்றம்? தமிழகம் சிரிக்கிறது. பாண்டியா, நீ தலைமுடிந்து நிற்பதை பார்த்து தமிழ்நாட்டு மறைநூல் திருக்குறள் கேலி பேசுகிறது. பாண்டியா, நீ நீதி வழக்கு செய்தி கேட்டு மன்னா மாசு பலரும் மாநிலங்களும் நீதி வழங்க உனக்கு செங்கோலர்களுக்காக தேவையில்லை. மாபாதகம் புரிந்த உனக்கு மணிமுறைகளுக்காக தேவையில்லை. வேந்தர் குலத்திற்கே இழிவு கற்பித்த உனக்கு வெண்கொற்ற குடைகளுக்காக தேவையில்லை. என்னை காலமெல்லாம் அளவிட்டு காவலனே, என் காதலனை, என் கண்ணாரனை, என் கண்ணிறைந்த மனவாளனை துடிக்க துடிக்க பண்ற பாவி, அழு அழு, நன்றாக அழு. கண்ணகி, உட்கார்வன் கல்வன் அல்ல, கல்வன் அல்ல, ஆறாயாமல் அவசரத்தில் கொண்டு வருகிறவனே, நானே நானே கல்வன், நானே கல்வன். தமிழே, தாயகமே, என் தாயே, என்னை மன்னித்து விடமா, மன்னித்து விடு.
நீதி தவறியதால் வளைந்த கண்களை உங்கள் உயிரை கொடுத்து நிமிர்த்தி விட்டீர்கள் அரசன், நிமிர்த்தி விட்டீர்கள்.
சிறப்பை இங்கே கண்டுகளித்தீர்கள். இது சிறப்பதிகார காலத்தில் மட்டுமல்ல, இன்றைய சூழலுக்கும் இந்த நிகழ்ச்சி நன்றாக பொருந்தும். தலைமை பொறுப்பில் இருக்கின்றவர்கள் மக்களை வழிநடத்தி செல்கின்ற போது நீதி வழுவாமல் தங்கள் பணியை செய்ய வேண்டும். நீதி வழுவினால் தர்மதேவனின் கண்டனை இதுதான் என்பதற்கு இந்த நாடகம் உங்களுக்கு சாட்சி. நன்றி.
மிகச்சிறந்த காவிய படைப்பு. எத்தனை முறை பார்த்தாலும் நம் நெஞ்சங்களை கொடுக்கும் ஒரு உன்னத படைப்பு. கற்பில் சிறந்த தமிழ் பெண் கண்ணகியின் கோபம் நம்மை இன்றும் முழுக்கத்தான் செய்கிறது. இச்சிறந்த நாடகத்தை நம் கண்முன் நிகழ்காட்டிய நம் மாணவர்களுக்கும் அவர்களை ஒருங்கிணைந்த தமிழ்துறை ஆசிரியர்களுக்கும் மீண்டும் ஒரு பலத்த கரவொலி எழுப்பி அவர்களை பாராட்டி மகிழ்வோம். There is always a light of hope when there is despair and darkness. We have heard enough and more of COVID-19 and we say it is not enough. We have heard mono acting and we have heard of one act play, two act play. But have you heard of dance act? Dance act. Well, even I have not heard of such term. We have our juniors here on the stage with a dance act with a theme இதுவும் கடந்து போகும். And life is very short, Nanda. Always be happy. We shall witness the dance act by the juniors.
It's the dark opinion when your heart stays like a drum, beating louder when you wait and got it. While it all seems like it's wrong, sing along throughout the journey to the feeling when just getting started. And the rhythm's got you falling behind. But that moment when you look yourself right in the eye, and you say, I wanna dance with you, this got me going, nothing else I wanna know. Yeah, listen to my images at the corner, falling like a dancing floor. We don't need to worry, just stay with me for a night. Just go on.
The World Health Organization says the risk of the virus expanding worldwide is now classified as very high.
This is the coronavirus. Carrying over 5,000 dead, many more expected. China, Korea, Italy, Iran, several countries with massive outbreaks. No floor available. World in lockdown, borders being sealed, entire countries in quarantine, airports, stadiums, malls, schools, colleges, cinema halls shut, empty, IPL, Olympic cities, crowd dining at a never before world scale.
Breaking news coming in, owing to rising COVID-19 cases in Tamil Nadu, the state government orders schools for 9th, 10th and 11th in Tamil Nadu to be shut off and is growing every day. Frankly, calling the brave is misleading now. What they're seeing is a tsunami of cases. cherished, loved, sorely missed. Some easy relationships, some more complicated, but all remembered. My sister Marie died. She had hope.
I lost a relative with acute hair.
My grandma, who was abroad, she passed away. I myself lost my dad. So we need to uproot each other and help each other by wearing masks and making sure we're doing the right thing. And if we all work together, we'll get through this.
Thank you to all of the new workers and all of the first responders and everybody who is out there that is helping and making sure that we stay safe.
As workplaces across our province continue to navigate our new normal, it's essential to keep working safely to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Important measures like wearing masks, physical distancing, and hand washing are all ways we can look out for each other. They have the power to make a real difference to everyone in your life, to all of us. Together, we can work through this safely.
Tonight I want to begin with some good news. India has found an effective weapon against the mutation. It's called Covax, the other as you know. It's Covishield. It's made in India shop.
Let me sing a country story, pay attention, listen to me. Listen. Let me sing a country story, pay attention, listen to me. If you want take guitars, learn attention, we will be
But here's what I can say for sure. Any vaccine is better than nothing.
All of the problems will come and go, but the children are
for a vaccine. The latest tests show that co-vaccine is effective against all mutations. India has administered 1 billion doses of Wuhan virus vaccine in just over 9 months. 1 billion. Today, India is celebrating what's been called a vaccine century. 104 shots.
So we will see and witness the dance act. How was it, boys? How was it? The parents? So, thank you, dear boys, for performing so well. We thank the teachers who were in charge of this dance act and for passing on the message. Life is very short and always be happy. And about the importance of getting good vaccination. Thank you, dear teachers.
Another musical treat for your ears, a heart-whelming number from the senior band of Bosco, Egmore. Check, check. check, check, check. Check, check. Check. Check, 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 check. Check, check. Check, check.
This song is special dedication to your parents for a love and concern to their kids. Hope you enjoy. ஆராரிராரோ, நாளைக்கே பாட தாயினி கண்ணுறங்கு என்னோட மணி சாய்ந்து ஆராரிராரோ, நாளைக்கே பாட தாயினி கண்ணுறங்கு என்னோட மணி சாய்ந்து வாழும் காலம் யாவுமே தாயின் பாதம் சுவர்க்கமே வேதம் நான்கும் சொன்னதே அதை நான் அறிவேனே என்னும் மந்திரமே அகிலம் யாவும் வாழ்வதும் தேனே ஆராரிராரோ நாளிலே பாட என்னோட மணி சாய்வு வேறில்லாத மனம் போல் என்னை நீ பூமியில் தாய் பூக்கள் எந்தன் மேலே கண்டார் உயிர் போக கொடுத்தாயே உலகத்தின் மந்தங்கள் எல்லாம் நீ சொல்லி தந்தாயே பிறப்புக்கும் இறப்புக்கும் இடையில் வழி நடத்தி சென்றாய் உனக்கே ஓர் தொட்டில் கட்டி நானே தாயாய் மாறிட வேண்டும் ஆராரிராரோ நாளைக்கே பாட தாயினி கண்ணுறங்கு என்னோட மணி சாய்ந்து தாய் சொல்கின்ற வார்த்தைகள் நாம் நோய் தீர்க்கின்ற பொருள் மேலே ஆசை துறந்த தூங்காத உயிரல்லவா காலத்தில் கணக்குகளில் செலவாகும் வரவும் நீ சுழல்கின்ற பூமியின் மேலே சுழலாத பூமியும் இறைவா நீ ஆணையிடு தாயே எந்த மகனாய் மாற ஆராரிராரோ நாளைக்கே பாட தாயினி கண்ணுறங்கு என்னோட மணி சாய்ந்து
A loud round of applause for that melodious number. Thank you, senior team. Dance is the hidden language of the soul, and dancing is surely the most basic and relevant of all forms of expression. The senior boys of Bosco Egmore are all set to entertain you with a crisp flashback of joyful moments that we enjoyed before the outburst of COVID-19 and the various trauma and struggles that we went through during the difficult time of trial. All of us are still striving hard to overcome the situation. May we be blessed to come back to normalcy. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy the spellbound performance from the Don Bosco senior team. Presenting to you the Don Bosco senior boys.
The vaccines made in India are totally safe, effective, and with good immunogenic response against COVID-19 disease. Do take the vaccine at your turn and do not believe in hearsay.
Today, I'm about to introduce everybody to crew, and it goes a little something like this.
confidence we will definitely overcome the situation soon. Thank you, dear boys, for your spectacular performance.
The world of plagues, epidemics, and habits in a jiffy. Let's go through the time machine and learn and unlearn. We shall have the video presentation on Corona. Food podcast.
In the past centuries, plague of Athens left 100,000 affected. The Antonine plague left 60 million dead. During the plague of Cyprian, 5,000 lives were lost every day for a few years.
And the plague of Justinian took away 100 million people.
Smallpox devastated 1/3 of the entire population of Japan.
And malaria consumed more than 200 million lives and is still going strong.
The Black Death left 50 million people dead.
The Coco Leslie epidemic affected 5 to 15 million people.
The Moscow plague took away 100,000 people.
And the Spanish flu affected 500 million and left 50 million dead.
The 100-year third pandemic took away 15 million lives.
The swine flu left 200,000 dead.
Ebola left 11,000 dead.
And HIV/AIDS affected 75 million people and killed 32 million people.
From the economic front, the Great Depression of 1929 devastated the US economy. A third of all banks failed. Unemployment rose to 25%, and homelessness increased. Housing prices plummeted 67%. International trade collapsed by 65%, and deflation soared above 10%. And now, coronavirus cases has left more than 51 million people dead. With every devastation, humanity learns a few lessons. Every devastation brings with it widespread lacunae in the social system. Fear, anxiety, and depression spread its dreaded tentacles. Ill health, death, and loss of hope are the worst things that could destabilize our minds. Loss of jobs and lack of a helping hand proves to be more fatal. When the God element, the angle of God, the last refuge is in question, when health workers' role is cumbersome, when science and media, the fourth estate, collude, when pandemonium is at its peak, humanity teaches us a few lessons. At face value, this virus, whatever may be the origin or reason, has wrecked all levels of society. The comfort zone has changed introvert behavior has swelled up. The poor, the migrant workers, the roadside dwellers, and stray animals are left in the lurch. The dead has to bury the dead. The conscience is seldom clear. What a shame to humanity. Shame on us. Yes, the virus is a pain.
From the beginning of the world, divisions have existed. All divisions stop for a period of time during a catastrophe. Today we see at least a 1% change in all of us, whether we are affected by the virus or not. Biblically, God was gracious to Sodom and Gomorrah and saved the cities as long as they did not fall short of that 1%. With every loss, with every confusion, comes clarity and a new source of hope. If humanity wakes up to this new call, right from the grassroots level to the higher echelons of society, then we are doing the will of God. New technological breakthroughs happened in the field of medicine, health, payment methods, and education. Of course, with every advantage, there is a disadvantage. Faith refused to take a back seat. In fact, it attained new heights. The 1% change was more conspicuous through the many charitable deeds by thousands and thousands of benevolent hearts. We find responsibility taking precedence over duty. Now, humanity declares peace and happiness to the less fortunate. From development to sustainable development, a global change is imperative and mandatory. A new age, a new face, a new God element in us is beckoning. Yes, COVID is a boon. The pandemic has encouraged a healthy lifestyle, better hygiene standards, and an overall healthier outlook towards life. Families have come together and quality life decisions have been made. It has brought society together in a feeling of oneness to stand shoulder to shoulder in crisis. There is an increase in faith and appreciation for all frontline and medical workers. Pollution levels are at an all-time low, encouraging us to keep up the green momentum. Flexibility and innovation in the workforce has benefited all. Government-level corruption has been under steady decline.
The virus has affected global economic trends, impacting a country's momentum on the world stage. Financial and economic instabilities push the lower working class into the depths of poverty. There is a worldwide decline in mental health in the youth. Stay-at-home and quarantine orders have taken away the human experience. There has been a heavy ideological divide in society between the vaccinated and the unvaccinated. COVID has killed over 1 million people worldwide till date.
My guess is that Well, when we look back 10 years from now, we will remember not just death and destruction wrought by the pandemic, but also many valuable lessons it taught us. So then, what are those lessons? The first lesson is the value of gratitude. During the pandemic, the gratitude list doubled and tripled in length because there was so much more to be grateful for every day. It wasn't a premium sports car or a fine watch or an Italian suit that we find ourselves grateful for. On the contrary, we are rather grateful for the simplest, the most basic things in life, like good health, a warm bed, food on the table, a roof over our head, and most of all, for the great gift of being amongst people who love us.
The second great lesson was about resilience. Each one of you is an inspiring example of resilience. For you, life changed overnight. In a very crucial year, schools closed, but you adapted quickly. You faced constraints, but you found creative solutions to overcome them. You learned how to study online. You gave your exams without physical proximity. You sent off your university applications. You pursued your post-educational goals. You used hard technology to sustain the softer aspects of life, such as friendships and camaraderie. Life turned upside down, but you did not let it keep you down.
The third great learning is that we began to recognize and appreciate how much our welfare depends on the welfare of others. When the crisis first struck, not many of us would have spared even a minute to think about how the pandemic could shatter our lives. The lives of the people who clean your homes, cook your food, sweep the roads, drive your cars, pick up your garbage, build your homes, look after your health and comfort. It was not until we saw those pictures of migrant families walking the highways in the hot summer without food, without water, that we had probably even thought of what it must be like to walk a mile in their shoes or barefoot. But after that, we should have realized that their departure made our lives and our work so much more difficult. It hit home to us that the poorest of the poor are the foundations on which our economic prosperity and the quality of life depends. Has Corona helped you care more? If yes, well, then you are safe. Dare to share.
எல்லாமே கவர்மெண்ட்
Thank you to the team of teachers for giving us this video presentation. Gratitude is the parent of all virtues, and the roots of goodness lies in the soil of appreciation. May I now invite the Assistant Headmaster of the main school, Mr. Joseph Maria Antoine, to spell his words of gratitude.
I will give thanks to you, O Lord, my God, with my whole heart, and I will glorify your name forever. I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this memorable occasion. Let me first start by giving glory to the Almighty God for making today's event a resounding success. First and foremost, I extend my words of appreciation and gratitude to the guest of the day, Tirumati P. Uma Maheshwari, IAS, for accepting our invite and presiding over the Parents' Day celebration. Thank you, dear ma'am. My immense thanks goes to the management, Reverend Father Xavier Bakia, our rector and correspondent, Reverend Father Gerard Miranda, our principal, Reverend Father Michael Lazar, for their untiring support and guidance to make this day happen. With whole heart, I wish to express my thanks to Reverend Father Valabra Jerome and Reverend Father Ambrose for their presence. Thank you, dear fathers. With a grateful heart, I thank the HM of the primary section, Ms. Kulantai Thrace, for her presence and encouragement. Sincere words of gratitude to the coordinators, Mr. Y. Alexander and Mrs. Satya Priya, for coordinating the program along with the teacher in charge. Thank you, Mr. Chinu, for the awesome praise song. Words of appreciation to Mrs. Petila and Mrs. Satya Priya for the theme dance on COVID. This too shall pass. Outstanding performance. Thank you, Mrs. Grace and Mr. Roy, for collaborating the senior boys dance on the theme Corona. It was an awesome performance. Thanks to Mr. Jerome and Mr. Ivan for the band. It was amazing performance. Word of thanks to Mr. Vincent, Mrs. Anita and Mrs. Jovita for the Tamil skit from Silpade Garam. Varakkure Kadai, Arumai, Miga Arumai, Valthukal. Words of appreciation to Mr. Raja Sundar for the wonderful and meaningful skit titled Transformation of Wolves into Sheep. Thanks to Mr. Thomas Suresh, Mr. Jerome and Master Justin Benito for the beautiful video presentation. Along with the management, I would like to appreciate Mr. Chinu Mereta for the spectacular backdrop and invitation. The annual report was highlighted event of the day. Words of gratitude to Mrs. Geeta for preparing the report, Justin Benito of 12C for the animation, Mr. Daniel the cameraman, Mr. Anthony for editing, and Mr. Andrew for coordinating and preparing the annual report. Thanks to Mrs. Pragadeshwari, Mrs. Anita for bringing the Almighty's divine grace by making arrangements for lighting the Kuttuvilakku. Thanks to Mrs. Susan and Malati for their support. Appreciation to the Rangoli team, Mrs. Philomene and Mrs. Merlin for the beautiful and colorful Rangoli. Heartfelt thanks to the teachers, Mrs. Geeta and Ms. Gauri for writing the certificates. Words of appreciation to Mrs. Nandarin, Mr. Thomas Sundar, Mr. Selvaraj and Mrs. Shakila for the excellent and meticulous arrangement of prizes for the awardees. Thanks to Mr. Alexander, Mrs. Shamala, Mrs. Delcy and Mrs. Patricia for taking care of the seating arrangement for the prize winners. Thanks to the reception team, Mrs. Vijayfla, Mrs. Flavia and Mrs. Zora for the warm welcome. The arrangements in the auditorium look pleasing because of a team of teachers, Mrs. Jacqueline, Mrs. Susai Mary, Mr. Roy Ramesh, Mr. Praveen and Mrs. Helen. Thank you dear teachers for taking your time yesterday to stay after school to look after the arrangements. Thanks to the team of teachers who took extra care for felicitating the chief guest. Thank you Mrs. Pramila, Mrs. Anita, Mrs. Susan and Ms. Micheline. Words of thanks to teachers in charge of stage, Mr. John, Mr. Victor and Mrs. Jovita. Words of appreciation to our PT teachers, Mr. Samuel and Mr. Xavier, for the extraordinary planning of sitting arrangements, auditorium, and to maintain discipline of the students. Kudos to the Master of Ceremony, Mr. Thomas Albert and Mrs. Geeta, for their excellent work. Words of thanks to Mrs. Ravi Raymond, Mr. Ravi Raymond, and Mrs. Pramila for reading the prize winners with utmost clarity. Special thanks to the teachers in charge of discipline. Thanks to Mr. Alexander and Mr. Justin for the well-performed God of Honor. Thanks to Mr. John and team for arranging the refreshments. Thanks to Mr. Suresh, the photographer, for capturing the moments. Sound and light are the backbone of any event happening. My heartfelt thanks to the team of support staff for creating a pleasant ambience to conduct this event. Thanks to Mr. Sanjay and his team. Special thanks to Mr. Gokul for live streaming today's program. Words of gratitude to Mrs. Anita, DB Hill Station nurse, for being on time to check the temperature of the audience. Thanks to Mr. Leo and his team for the colorful LED display. Special and sincere thanks to Mr. Johnson for all the arrangements in the auditorium. Special and heartfelt gratitude to all my teachers of DB Main School for the cooperation and collaboration making today's program a grand success. Thank you, dear teachers. Words of gratitude to our non-teaching staff, Mr. Ramesh, Mr. Govindraj, Mr. Stephen, Mr. China, Mr. Inigo, Mr. Wilson, Mr. Moses, Mr. Sinivasan, Mr. Rajani, Mr. Ramakrishnan, and Mr. Thomas for their hard and tireless work for the success of today's event. Dear parents, you are the strongest support in building the young generation. Thank you for your presence and cooperation making this day a grand success. Special thanks to Master Jan. Secretary Ajay for coordinating the captains and secretaries to maintain discipline in the auditorium. Thanks to all the secretaries and assistant secretaries, captains and vice captains for your valuable service. Thank you, dear boys. Boys, you are the apple of our eyes. Our sincere thanks goes to all of you for your hard work to portray your talents and make your parents proud. At this juncture, I would like to tell you to do good, be good, remain good, and be at your best at all times and make your school and your parents proud. Stay safe and stay blessed. God bless all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, dear sir, for the elaborate and detailed proposing of vote of thanks. Every time we sing the slow anthem, it is an honor and our heart beats out of our chest. May we all rise in unison and join the TV main school choir as we sing the school anthem and bring down the curtains of our Parents' Day 2020. We request all of you to kindly be seated till the chief guest takes leave of us. Boys, you are requested to be in your respective places until further directions from your PT master.